Welcome back to more HSR. Today I have decided to making some sort of tier list of each character design. Because this is like really subjective topic, right? I have decided I'm gonna make this tier list based on how I would basically pull for the character if I see the design. Like basically my first impression. So like knowing nothing about the character's abilities, things like that, solely based on the design. So let's get started. We actually got 77 characters because we also gonna have 2 more characters after Yao Guang, but I would love to include them as well, so we're gonna rank these probably as the last one. So without further ado, let's start probably with the 4-star. That's gonna be the best one. We will have a look on the March 7. I would assume that we will have to take this original version, right? So looking at the character overall, it actually looks really nice. There's obviously like really nice details seeing her. I assume this is something like a flower. Well, let's not go too much detail on the legs, but she got really cute eyes. I really like this like double color in her eyes, and like overall she kind of looks like I mean, more I'm zooming in, she kind of looks a little bit crazy, not gonna lie. But she's cute, she's really cute, and overall, like her eyes, or basically like overall clothes matches her eyes. I think I would be rather neutral when it comes to her, because even though she looks really nice, I would probably save my pulls for a different character that is a little bit, let's say, more outstanding visually. Before we move forward, I would be actually really interested what you guys think, that like which faction having like the best character design. Also, what would be your best 3 picks? Just let me know down below. I'm genuinely curious. But without further ado, we got the Heng. So like overall, he doesn't look that much like outstanding, but I would say as a character, like overall looks really nice. When it comes to like overall Hoyo games, for some reason I really like the characters in HSR probably the most, because when you look at the character design and like all the details and even like the color, you can see like the green starts here and it's like slowly fading away into the darker color. It looks really nice. Let's not forget to mention like golden details, all the things like that. Even like the buttons, or I don't know what it is, double zip on his neck. Everything around the characters like in HSR looks really profound and very like high detail, and I absolutely love it. But speaking about this dude looking really nice, going here, I would slightly pull more for this character than the March 7, but also at the same time I feel like I will save the A tier for something a little bit more interesting. It's also really probable that I might gonna switching between the tiers as I'm gonna discover more and more characters, because probably some gonna be a little bit more interesting, so we'll see how that goes. So Arlan, I feel like I've never even tried this character. Like overall looks really nice, but I would say despite all the details, this guy actually kind of looks like he could ride some skateboard. I would say this is pretty decent looking character, but like overall nothing something I would be really keen to basically pull for, so this gotta be like D tier. Next time we have Asta. I don't even need to zoom in and I can like literally feel her kindness. Like, yeah, seeing her face, this is definitely some type of kind person. It would be kind of really nice plot twist if she gonna do something crazy in a story, but as far as I've seen, she looks really nice. Also, I really like the golden details. Even though she looks really nice, I would pull for her way less than the March 7, but also a little bit more than this previous guy. Herta is gonna be a little bit tricky, because this was basically one of my very first playable character in a team that I kept for really long time. I really like her flower. She looks really cute. I love her eyes, even the neck and like all the details. Also, it's really interesting to see like her legs right here, so like a figurine. I would say like overall really cute character. Would I pull for her? I can actually say I would put her in a B tier, because I feel like I wouldn't be on the same tier with Asta basically. So Serval, I don't know how to describe it. She looks like a perfect epitome of like rebellion girl, I would say. Like you can see the character design having a lot of like different kind of features. I don't know what it is, but if you notice like female characters in HSR having always some like really interesting detail on their legs. Really nice golden details, blue dyed color. It's actually a really nice feature, but I really like, especially like the bottom of her hair. Kinda looks like it's glowing. Also, she got some tattoo over the flesh. I actually didn't even notice. This is really profound detail on a chain. Really interesting. If I zoom out, that looks nice. I feel like I already have to start like lowering the tiers, but I'm gonna still keep her in a B. Oh boy, now we have Natasha. So Natasha is definitely gonna be, I don't know, like just seeing her instantly, a lot of like really very colorful, really interesting design. Again, look at the details on the legs. Really like the basically a dark color with like dark red one. Also side by side with this like neon-ish green color. It really like pops up really nice. Also seeing the mole on the face looking really interesting. I'm still kind of curious, like what is she wearing here, if it's some type of, well, let's not even like go into too much details. Also, really nice toy here. This is some type of character I would definitely give a little bit more advantage than the previous ones. So overall, if you look at this character, she's really well profound, like a lot of details. Which means this is the character based on the design I would pull probably now the most. Which I feel like as we go through the 5-star characters, I feel like I have to lower the tier. Okay, next time Pela. I feel like Pela is gonna be similar to Herta. In some kind of way, they could be either sisters, they could be either siblings, or some really good friends. Like they having like very similar vibes, I would say. Also, don't know what to say about this character. It's really well polished, especially like when it comes to the balance of the colors. So we're gonna go for the B tier next to her sister Herta. Now we got a guy with really interesting name. Every time I reading the name, I always wanna say shampoo, which actually looking at his hair, it would also kind of make sense. I just actually noticed, like, is he missing a t-shirt here? Okay, this is probably something for the female audience, so this is something that, like, now when I'm seeing it, I'm kind of losing the interest, like, even more. Maybe also because I play a lot of World of Warcraft. If he would have like this shoulder like symmetrically on basically both sides, I would probably even disregard this kind of part and put him on a little bit higher tier. But so far I'm gonna put him in a C because it's either gonna be like on the same tier with Arlan, but now we will have to like move everything lower. We get a hook, so this is definitely something I wouldn't pull like at all. Maybe it's because of like the size of this character. Character overall looks actually really nice. It actually looks really cute. It looks really adorable. Maybe it's because of the hat, because it's like literally twice the size. But also like this like really like puffy jacket. It's looking actually really cute. I cannot actually put it in a D tier because like the more I'm watching the character, it looks nicer than the Arlan. Lynx. So Lynx, for some reason I thought there was a guy until I saw the legs. This is definitely a female character. Well, anyway, it kind of looks like the pre-Christmas season. So like overall really nice. You can see this character probably loves snow, at least living in some like really cold area. Also, she got really nice golden whistle. I didn't notice until I zoom in. I wonder what is she drinking here. Maybe I'm blind and I couldn't see her here, but anyway, I had some picture. So she's going for the seat here. Even though she looks nice, this is definitely something I wouldn't go for. But now we got Luka. Really interesting name. I was actually really surprised, like playing this character for like very first time. Like, what was his ult? Maybe we could do like some tier lists of HSR ults. That would be maybe also like really funny, which would be actually really interesting to see like the comparison between the ults and like this tier. This guy definitely gonna be on a higher tier because I like this kind of flame warm visuals. Also looking really cool to basically having this kind of like a fire cracked on his legs side by side with like this piece of cloak. Looks literally like his part of the arm is burning. But what definitely caught my interest the most is basically the mechanical arm, and that's definitely something that I am interested. If I see the character with like mechanical arm, it's usually putting me in a little bit tough spot, in a tougher situation. Okay, now we got a Qingque. I'm not sure if I pronounce it properly. She looks like a little bit cute side side character, I would say. Like, she looks really nice, but I don't feel like anything special. Like nothing too much special I would like to pull, so there would be like a least option, which actually leads me, I would put the Lynx on the bottom tier as well. Okay, this character looking actually really interesting, and probably, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I didn't notice, this is first like furry or like character with the ears and the big tails. Holy, looking at her shoes, it's actually really well done. Like the golden detail, like the golden shoes kind of perfectly matches the like entire character atmosphere. I'm actually a little bit surprised like how well done basically the contrast between like the nature part of the character like side by side with the clothes. Really interesting bracelet. I guess when you look at the detail of the character and seeing like a golden details, especially like moving here, you can see the gold is glowing. It's looking really like premium. This character is definitely gonna be maybe even A tier. She looks really nice. Well, it's probably gonna be similar. I don't know. Like she looks also really nice. Maybe it's because of the ears. I don't know. Okay, she got a tail too. They could be literally like sister. You know, something like a yin and yang, like a good and bad sister, kind and ambitious one. When I look at literally like only solely on her face, I would probably go for this character more than the previous one. But like when I zoom out, her legs literally like strike me immediately, which I would say like overall the character, I would enjoy like the upper part a little bit more than the lower. So call me crazy, but they cannot be on the same tier, at least to my taste. So I'm gonna give it B. I feel like I shouldn't even try to pronounce this name because it's obviously gonna be wrong. But this looks like a character that would enjoy some like a fire festival or like firework festival. It literally feels like character perfectly for like this kind of type of events. Looking really nice. I would say it definitely outstanding in a way, but probably, well, you know what, like I was about to give it a C, but I would say that this is a solid like a bit B tier. I still have to keep reminding myself that basically B is like neutral. Like I would probably pull for this character if there is no like better options, but like C tier and below is something that probably not worth my pulls. I feel like every time I see characters starting with letter X, I cannot pronounce it properly. Well, anyway, looking solely at this character, I have to say, character looks actually really good. If I'm not even mistaken, I wanted to play this character until the chat like on the stream last year told me don't even like build this character because it's not worth it. Maybe it's because of her eyes, maybe it's because of this like waist that this is something like really unique. I definitely like her eyes, but also that in hair color, it pops up a little bit more, and yeah, she looks really interesting. Like even the face, I would definitely be more interested to pull for this character than the other. Like overall details, golden, all the things looks really nice. And like if I zoom out, like I can see a lot of features that like I would be definitely interested to pull. Now this kind of giving me the mommy energy. I have to be a little bit careful here. When you look at her eyes, you can see like either emptiness or like she literally despises you, you know what I mean? Which I guess like in a way some people feel urge to pull for the character because of like these vibes, which I cannot blame you. It's not a bad design, but to be completely honest, I don't know how I feel about like when I see the legs is like too shiny. Like I would like to see a little bit more decoration on her lower body, unless there was like literally the purpose, I don't know. Moving aside and like seeing this part looks kind of interesting, I guess. Yes, so I would say I would be a little bit scared to pull for her, so gotta put it in a C. This is character that I literally wanted to basically build. Like I really like his kind of cape, even though it looks a little bit like it kind of makes me want to like make it a little bit more neat, but like overall I like the basically vibe that I'm getting from this character. No golden details, which is also really interesting to see, but maybe it's like overall this like purple-ish dark red color design. It looks really nice. I would be... Oh, actually, you got also really interesting eyes, like perfectly matches the character color. I would be low-key really curious like if he would have some like really high contrast color on his hair. Maybe something like a dark red, or like purple, something like that. But overall, this is definitely something I would pull for. This dude, say what you want, this is literally a bartender, like literally. And when you actually zoom in, you're literally seeing this dude literally hates to working night shifts. Also seeing the tie like a little bit like clumsy, or like you can basically see this character is not like clean. He's not neat, which is really interesting like feature to have. Really nice pants. Overall, I would say really cool design. Probably go for the B tier because I wouldn't like wanted to pull for this, but if I don't have any other options, I would definitely give it a shot. I cannot tell if I would assume like based on the entire appearance, this is gonna be a guy, right? Sometimes you gotta be careful because you never know. Like assuming this is a guy, seeing this like shiny legs, it immediately makes me wanna like save my pulls. If we would do probably something more with like a lower body, then I would assume my gonna worth pulling, because if you really like look at these character details, it feels like from upper body to above, it's really well done. Like you can see a lot of details, right? Overall, this character giving me the vibes that like developers or whoever designed this character literally like had the shift like over and he was like halfway done, so he just like saved the presentation as it is and like move on to another character. So I am giving a D tier. So now we finally covered the 4-star. Actually, there is one more. This character actually looks really nice. I really like it. She kind of looks like you know, warrior from some anime. Also, if I'm not mistaken, it's literally like first time we seeing such a like you know, color theme, which is really nice. Kind of interesting to see her shoes. Like now just noticing it's like golden feature and like stuff around tied to her hair. It looks really cute. I would say this is actually a character I wouldn't mind to pull for. So yeah, maybe call me crazy, but I would consider pulling. Maybe I should add one more tier, like in between. Okay, now let's go to the 5-star character. This is literally the most controversial character from my channel, I believe, because when I play my HSR very first stream, I immediately said that this guy kinda looks, you know, average. I would say it's probably because like overall when you see like the gray color and there is literally like nothing like really high contrast, it's kind of difficult to giving you a vibes, at least to me, giving some like slight aura vibes, I would say. When I seeing him and like the glasses and stuff, he could be literally like perfect teacher. It literally looks like a teacher of history. This is gonna be really tricky because I feel like I'm gonna be neutral, but there are few characters, like for instance this chick right here, I would definitely like prefer to pull for her more. So what I probably gonna do, well, I'm not gonna make it complicated, I'm just gonna stay neutral and let's move on to another one. Okay, Silver Wolf, even though there are a lot of details, this is giving me like vibes of the character that I've like seen previously, even though like we didn't see her, if you know what it means. Like we got these like short characters couple of times, like for instance Pela or the Herta, but this would be the character that I wouldn't feel like too much interest to pull. Also, if I look at our like Dead Eyes mommy, I feel like I would disrespect her if I'm gonna put her in the same bracket. It's what it is. Then we got character that's kind of like shining, looking really nice. Like for a second I thought she got really long hair, but like when I'm moving around, it's actually like kind of perfect size. I actually just noticed she got the same, maybe even on the same R as a Luka. Loki, now when I'm seeing it, they could be like perfect siblings in a way. Really interesting detail around her like belly button. Maybe I should just do like first 5-second impression and not like going too much details, because sometimes it's better to not looking even further. But like overall really colorful and really interesting character that I would definitely give it a shot, so probably A. Okay, Topaz and Numby. This is actually kinda cute. Again, I kinda feel like I'm gonna regret zooming a little bit in, but quite a bit interesting curve. Well, okay, I cannot zoom in. I think they know what they've been doing, right? Like, this character has been designed with one single purpose. But I have to stay strong, so... Okay, we got Luocha. I'm not even sure if I even saw this character like in a banner. This character looks interesting in every way possible except like her face. Well, maybe if we zoom in, actually the eyes a little bit stands out, but like overall here I really like the clothing here, especially like the ribbon or whatever it is in his hair, looking really nice. It could be some kind of general, like really high statue politician. Maybe I'm a little bit biased like towards male characters. Well, actually when I'm seeing it, probably not really, but this character definitely feels like worth pulling. Okay, another male character, and this is definitely like a must pull. Like, seeing this looking really nice. Maybe it's the golden color like around his character, maybe it's that like small feature in the shoulder. Actually seeing it in a detail looks really nice. And he got golden eyes. Not to even mention like his haircut or like hairstyle looks really nice. What can I say? This is definitely something that I need to have in my account. So that was basically first must pull, and well, seeing the second one, this gotta be like must pull as well. After seeing the Blade trailer, I was immediately hooked in a game. Like, when I saw him, I want to pull for him. Again, a lot of people told me to not to do so because he's not as good and like some characters having much better value. But this character looks very noble, very elegant. Eyes, earrings, color, everything. This guy has everything we need. The video is getting too long, so let's not glaze this character that much. Even though I would love to stay a little longer, but we got a lot of things to do. So Xuan, like seeing her upper half, this is actually a really interesting character. I'm not even sure if I saw her like properly in a game. She looks like a young princess, like quite literally. This is a really nice character. Well, it's definitely something that I must have like on my character, basically like on my account. But this is really nice and solid A. Okay, Jingliu. Immediately seeing like blindfold, I literally like see to be. For that to be on the same tier, she would need to do a little bit like more with the character. Even though she got a lot of details, this is not something I would see like outstanding as much. Probably give it to the C tier, to be honest. Also, it's kind of interesting to see like profile picture with without the blindfold. And now Heng has been leveling up. Well, this is definitely something that looks much better than the previous version. So also seeing his like lower body, seems like he doing leg days quite often. So I'm gonna give it an A. Okay, another name that I'm not gonna be trying to pronouncing, but this looks like someone who's literally like running some like a hostel. He giving me the vibes like the receptionist when you go like to some hotel and literally like being nice to you as a customer. Oh, he actually got the tail as well. Okay, I would feel like 50-50 if this is a male or female, like based on like this pose. But yeah, because he's smiling, I'm gonna put him in a B. He's way too kind to reject him. With this character, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be biased or not, because I believe this was one of the very first character I wanted to pull for based on the old and some like numbers that I've seen. So seeing her from this angle, she actually looks really badass. I mean, what can I say? She looks really nice. Also the jacket, like with like perfect rectangle shoulders, it kind of feels a little bit different than like the other female characters. But overall, I would say that she must be on my account. Also, she got really nice profile picture. Okay, Young Li, she actually looks some like a daughter of some king. You know, like really young princess, which overall, if we going around this angle, she looks really nice. I don't know what it is, but like sometimes this character, it kind of feels a little bit like less interesting when I zoom out and like see like just bare legs. But yeah, she did the nails quite a bit nicely. So overall, really beautiful princess, but this is not something I would pull for. Now this character on the other hand, when you notice, like they did something different, right? Like with the legs and everything. Like this transition between like two colors feels really nice. I feel like I've seen this kind of like a belly button, like the middle part of the character a few times already. But like also really nice like golden feature in her hairstyle, and like overall she looks really cute. Just look at her face. She wants you to pull for her. So I'm gonna give it an A tier. Seeing this character, it literally reminds me this character. They could be literally sisters. Again, maybe they are. I am not too much in depth into the lore. But like overall, just look at her clothes. You can see there is a ridiculous amount of detail and like work behind this character because she looks really, really nice. This is definitely something I would feel really happy to have on my account. Okay, we got another male character, and like immediately, I don't even need to go into the details. This is must pull character for me, because this looks literally like some knight. The armor overall looks really, really fine. I think they also did a really great job like giving him longer hair, because I feel like if I would see him with like short hair, it would kind of look silly. Also really nice rose details right here. I would be okay, like seeing his face, it looks a little bit more feminine. Maybe it's because of like the eyelashes and the color, but I would be really curious to like see him like with like really shiny red eyes. It would be like must pull immediately. But overall, this is something I would definitely love to have. Okay, now we got another guy. So this is the casino guy, right? The roulette here looks actually really funny. I would say overall, let me actually see. It's a little bit shame I cannot zoom in like on his watch, but this is some really, really nice flags. Also his eyes, like, and the tattoo like on the neck, looking really cool. I was gonna put him in an A tier, but like seeing what we got in A tier, I would give this character much higher priority. Okay, now moving to Dr. Ratio. I don't know like what it is, but like last few of these male characters looking really nice, and I would literally like pull for every single one of them. This guy looks some like you know, like modern slash like old Greek mythology, or like some type of scientist in like old Greek era. This is kind of vibes that I'm getting. Maybe it's the leaf on his hair. I actually didn't see the makeup like until I zoom in. Well, still I would consider this character to be a must pull on my roster. This character is actually something I was told on the last stream that kinda must pull, but I hit 2 hard biddies and lost 50-50, so I'm basically like freaking dry now. We'll see how that goes, but I really like her eye, or like even like overall face with the flower tattoo. This character looks really cute. It's probably one of a few character I would pull that is kind of like a lower height. I wouldn't say I need to have her like on my account, but basically next to this chick, I forgot the name, I believe it was also like really hard to pronounce, but these two looking really well, and I would like put them in the same bracket. God damn, Black Swan. Well, this chick looks really interesting. I'm not sure if she's ready to get married or bury her husband. Like, she got really nice eyes, kind of interesting like pieces of glasses, like heart shape like necklace. Overall clothes design, I don't know, probably not gonna go to the supermarket anytime soon. I would say this character, even though I'm not like simping, I swear God I'm not simping, I would still like to have on an account. This could be a character who loves to riding a bike, or basically like motorcycle. She's kind of giving me that type of vibes. Maybe it's the flame tattoo right here. Overall really interesting design right here, and when I see her eyes, I think eyes is probably the best part on this character, side by side with actually her hairstyle. But like overall, I cannot put her on the same A tier, so I would be a little bit like hesitant whether to pull for her or not. This character literally looks like falling from the heaven, or maybe from some type of like orchestra. Seeing her eyes, she definitely having like surplus of like kindness. Really interesting like wings coming out of her, or like behind the ears, but probably the most like really interesting detail that I get from this character is kind of like a note, I would say, golden note here. Overall character looks really well done, really well polished. You can see she's basically like a gentle character, but I would say I would give preferences to a different character if I have the option. Okay, now on the other hand, the Sunday, maybe it's like based on this circle levitating like behind his eyes, especially like the golden one. This is really well done character, like everything is kind of perfect. Okay, sometimes I would be curious to see like these characters like with different hair color. I think some of them would pop up even more. But yeah, seeing this guy like golden eyes on blue, white and golden, it looks like a close to perfection. So this is definitely gonna be someone who is must. Now we having a Jade. Jade immediately giving me vibes of some type of witch. Like I don't know what it is, maybe it's her hat. Like moving around this character, she could be like the type of person who likes to go on a bar and just like sit there and having some lovely drink. I'm not entirely sure if I would like to have this character, so I'm gonna be neutral with this one. Oh my god, this one is really interesting. I don't even need to like glaze him anymore. This is literally like must pull. This is character that is literally like so different than the other ones, so it make a perfect sense to like have him on a roster. This is the character that literally Luka would love to be. A little bit more manly aura. Seems some scratches on the body look, so makes him even more badass. And does he actually having two mechanical hands? And oh my god, if you zoom in, this is literally like a target eyes. That is literally interesting. I didn't know that. Now I want to pull for this character even more. Well, you probably know that this is a must pull. Okay, this is a little bit different one. This is type of character that I'm having vibes like hit or miss, if you know what I mean. Like the flames here looks really nice, really interesting, but like at the same time, I don't feel okay. Cut everything and just keep like her face with, you know, the pink hair. It's looking really nice, really cute. Maybe not even cute, but kind of like a beautiful. I don't know if it's a hat or kind of like a helmet. This is some character that I wouldn't probably even like want to pull for. Oh, on the other hand, it literally looks like when you put the Herta and you like start watering her, and like within a couple of months or the years, this is the final product, like quite literally. As always, I'm gonna be repeating myself. A lot of details on this character, especially the hair looks really well done. Also like pieces of clothes like on her arms looking rather interesting, feels premium. So yeah, this is something I need to have. And now I just noticed we got this guy right here. This literally looks like a character from the Greek era. Maybe because I'm biased and I kind of like the ancient Greek history. This is some character I would definitely want to have. It's really interesting to see the character like kind of like in a one color but like different shades. Even the eyes, the flowers around the body, and like the leaves, the boobs and everything. This is definitely some big work on this character, especially like matches the color shading. It kind of feels rare to see a character with one type of like color theme and still do the really good job with the character. So yeah, this is definitely S tier for me. Tribi looks really cute. I actually noticed or remember the trailer where there was like the mommy or the mom of this character, I believe. That would be actually something I would rather to have. Even though I'm not too much like into like smaller characters, because usually they look like either too cute or like too silly, and it's kind of not my cup of tea. I maybe have to make exceptions here, because this character, she looks really adorable. Even this like animation of the wings feels really cute. I think this is one of the characters that literally make the color of the hair and the eyes like pop up really well, and because of it she's really cute. And because of it I'm gonna put her actually on an A tier, which I would say it's really freaking rare for me to do so. Oh my, it's my day. I think you probably guessed it on my first impression. This is definitely a must pull. I've noticed the Honkai actually love golden color, like golden features like so much, which is kind of interesting. I definitely don't mind at all. Really interesting eyes. also seeing the makeup or the tattoo like only on one side actually feels really nice. Well, I don't know what to say. This looks like one hell of a warrior. And because of it, where is my S tier? Let's go. Okay, Anaxa. Really interesting one. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna have in S tier so many male characters. I'm not gonna even lie. This character also looks really nice. Like having the eye patch, I actually didn't know until I zoom in. I didn't notice as much like he actually got some long hair. Or maybe just like portion of it. I don't know, like sometimes it's really easy as that to giving a character like really nice clothes and it already like stands out. But you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit unbiased and I'm gonna put him in an A tier. I feel like it would be a little bit disrespect to a certain characters. But now when I'm thinking about it, maybe I should put Adventure in one tier lower. I'm gonna change my mind one last time. This character I remember really vividly because she always loved to shaking her ass. Which, to be fair, like seeing her tights or like legs overall, it looks rather different than the other one. Like she looks like having a decent like muscle mass on her legs, unlike the other characters for some reason. Really interesting seeing here barely like she's kind of flat here, but like everywhere I see her, including the old, she always like shaky. But overall this character, like despite her shakiness, she looks kinda cute. She looks good enough to put her in A tier. Another male character that I'm gonna have a little bit mixed feeling. Like this is definitely some type of character I would consider or I would like to have, but like also at the same time, because he got a short hair and because the short hair is also like gray, he doesn't outstand as much. Like overall the design, the clothing and everything, it looks really nice. I just don't have like enough impressions or maybe some sort of vibes from the character like overall that this is something I really need to have. Also on the other side, it's not something that I don't want to have, so I'm gonna put him in A. Okay, this character looking really cute. Give her a lollipop to her hand and I feel like it's literally perfect. Really interesting like twisty hair with like blue and two balls on the left. Really nice. Yeah, really cute, nice looking character, but definitely not something I would be like super keen to pull. Okay, this character looks really interesting. Maybe it's the flame like on her crown, or maybe it's some gemstone like eyes. The character just like looks really interesting. I didn't even notice she got some type of wings here. Oh, it's actually coming from her body. Okay, I didn't know that. Like seeing the detail here, it kind of looks painful, not gonna lie. I don't know, this is actually a character that I cannot say I would be like neutral, but if I don't have any other characters to pull for and she's like here, I would actually be happy to have her. Okay, Siren. The first thing that literally caught my eyes is this design on her clothes. Like this like sparkling thingy. Looking really nice. Also this like rainbow like color like all around it feels really beautiful, or rather looks really beautiful. Even the earrings looks kind of cute. Actually, more I'm zooming in, the character looks more and more, or like nicer and nicer. Still, like overall, this is not something I would love to like immediately have, but like seeing a lot of color, I guess I have to like save it. So I'm gonna put her on an A tier because I guess she got a lot of colors. Okay, now we got the latest character. Rest in peace. I literally wasted 80 pulls and I lost my heart pity. So yeah, I definitely not gonna be biased and like put her on a like a C tier to like get my revenge. But yeah, is this character like worth to put it in S? I mean, based on the features, it kind of feels obvious like who is she representing, right? It's really well polished design, and even here it's kind of like interesting or like rather unique when it comes to the HSR characters. Like seeing her from the distance, immediately like eyes is shining, like outstanding, like immediately. Which, to be fair, like comparing to most of the characters, it's not that case. So yeah, TLDR, she got beautiful eyes. Probably not gonna be like super must pull, but something I want to have on my account. And now we moving to basically the last part. So these are the characters that I also have, which actually is interesting that we can kind of review the MC. The only thing I would just like change it is the hair color, because like like I said, like Gray feels kinda, it doesn't feel like a main character, you know what I mean? Like everything around the character looks really fine. I would just like to see the character with a little bit different hair color. I think they would like pop up even more. But I would say like overall I would probably be kind of neutral about this one, which actually to be fair is kind of understandable. Now moving to Himeko. This was basically like one of the first character that I really enjoy in the game. I would say maybe this is a skin. I'm not entirely sure. It kind of feels like a skin or not. This is actually a really interesting character that having a lot of like different features. Like seeing her like black clothes mixing with the golden like white clothes, mixing with some like golden rose basically tied to her hair. This actually kind of looks like a rose as well. Himeko is basically giving me the vibes that she took some features from each character and like make her own. Yeah, like at the very beginning I wanted to pull for her and I would still wanted to pull for her no matter what. Well, but now we having probably one of the, I don't know, basically this character is kind of like double-edged sword, I would say. I couldn't get her till 4.0. Shout out to free 5-star. When I'm seeing her character like overall, it doesn't like outstand as much, but as soon as I start zooming in, like a lot of features popping in. This kind of butterfly, the spider web, even the color like starts shining even more. You can see the like really hard edges and you can see her eyes is kind of like half empty. It's basically similar to like this mommy like vibes, but this is, I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm biased, but Kafka, it's a must pull for me. Okay, now we got a Saber. Saber is gonna be rather interesting because I pulled for the character because she was limited. At least I thought so, so I guess I got debated. It's like overall, she's having a really nice like super anime like vibes, well, obviously. So I don't know what else to say. That yeah, this is a really nice to have, but is it really that necessary? Probably no, so I'm gonna put her on A. The second character I got debated based on the limited like FOMO, but like overall this guy looks really nice. Like you can see like he likes to go in the gym, he likes to working out quite a lot, and I don't know, like that like really red cape looking really nice. What can I say? Perfectly symmetrical body boy. I'm gonna put him on the same tier. Now we got the character that I lost the 50-50, so I cannot say if I gonna be like complaining too much because like I have a C3 now. I was actually pulling for this character like half year on a standard banner till I get her, and now like I'm losing the 50-50 to her. So I don't know like if it's a good or bad sign, but like either way, character looks really nice. I'm not sure if I would give her like the earrings because it kind of seems a little bit different from like entire clothes or like the theme. Like the overall style looks a little bit slightly different, so I would remove it and maybe giving, you know, this kind of like gold or maybe bluish golden like earrings. That would be really beautiful in my opinion. Kind of like a funny triple tornado here. But yeah, this character looks really nice overall. This character looks definitely really nice. Okay, now I would assume like based on the Bronya, this could be literally his or her brother. They could be literally like siblings from like same military family, if you know what I mean. It's literally giving me that type of vibes. I would say this character again, maybe because he also got like short hair, it doesn't like feel really insanely nice to me. Kind of really funny pose here, but yeah, like overall the guy, he kind of looks like a good guy, but he's definitely not gonna be S tier, so I'm gonna put him on A. This little cutie looks like a forgotten or the lost Santa Claus daughter, to be honest. She's looking super cute, like very adorable, but you can see in her eyes like something's bothering her. Maybe it's because she doesn't have her shoes, or maybe something else. Either way, character looks actually really nice. I really like her jacket design. I feel like it would be a slightly disrespectful if I'm gonna put her in a B tier because something's bothering her. She probably lost something, so I'm gonna cheer her up and put it on A. Okay, we got some short king here. So the character overall looking, he definitely look or like giving me the vibes of someone like some type of like a brawler, or at least like some kind of disciple who's like learning how to like do some martial arts. Like overall style looks really nice, but you can see like based on the design, like, maybe I'm wrong, but this is kind of like a kid, right? Actually, I don't know like how old this character is, but Like overall, he looks really like cheerful. Even here you can like kind of feel it. But this is definitely not something that like I'm super interested, so I'm gonna like stay neutral. Okay, another cutie. I just noticed like I'm not usually into like, you know, like small characters because I don't know. Usually like when you play the character, I want something a little bit like more robust, but since this is like a turn-based game and like we judging like a character design, oh my god, this looks this looks really adorable. I gotta say, if I would see like this picture, I would be like, nah, I'm gonna skip. But like when you go here and zooming in, this character looks like a, you know, like a baby child of some like a dragon. She's actually looking really cute. Even her eyes and like the tiny mouth. Like, don't want to make me angry. I think I'm actually gonna put her on A tier. Well, this character, I would say actually this is probably gonna be like A tier. When I solely look at her design, she have like so many features, and then you like turn around and literally her tail is in flames. Then you look around and like, look at this cutie here. This looks like really super cute, to be honest. I wonder what is she carrying in that ball, by the way. But like overall, like even that like paw eyes, or like I don't know what it is. I don't know, looks really cute. I like this character enough to put her on an A. Okay, now we have Ruan Mei. This is actually a different outfit, right? So I have to go back to here, but I would say like overall there is slightly different design, right? But like the theme looks kind of similar. We're gonna be judging the normal or the original one. I would say like she looks, maybe it's the way like she tie her hair, but like she kind of feels mature, you know, like some type of woman with a lot of knowledge. There is nothing like super interesting for me to like seeing like, hey, this character looks really good, I need to have it. So I think I'm just gonna stay neutral and put her on a B. It's definitely not C or D. Firefly, she's giving me the vibes of some like really kind and, you know, lovely, friendly student. Give her a backpack and like go to the school right away. Also, I've noticed we actually don't have like that many smiles in like when it comes to characters, right? This kind of feels unique, or like at least unusual, I would say. Overall, really nice, clean and tidy character. I would say in this case, I'm gonna stay neutral. She's looking really nice, but like nothing something I would be like really focused on to like pull for her, unless I know like she's kind of valuable for my team. On the other hand, we got the Dahlia. She actually looks low-key like Albedo from Overlord. I just can't help it. She also kind of looks like a Black Widow at the same time, which kind of makes sense like when you look at all the black features. Like till recently, I didn't even know she got a horn, which is really interesting. Also like seeing her detail right here. I wonder if this is a tattoo or just like a decoration. But yeah, she got really beautiful flowers here and here. And kind of unexpected tail. I did not expect it at all. Also, sometimes I notice some of these arts looking really nice. But yeah, overall, this is character I need to have, and I'm happy to have her. So another one is this little like super white creature. Actually, she's smiling slightly. I've actually noticed, like seeing the Firefly trailer and the Castor Eyes, like they technically both having some kind of like a dark history, right? Yet both of these characters smiling, which is rather interesting. It almost feels like they hiding her pain behind a smile, like which, to be honest, make perfect sense. Overall, really nice and interesting character. Like seeing this like little black crown, it's kind of like a queen of death, I would say. It's not gonna be like must pull for me, but definitely A tier. Now we got this one, which is rather interesting. Like first things that literally like pop up immediately is this kind of feature around her hair, like the boobs. Like let's be real, because like there is something literally like flowing inside. There is literally a hole. I don't know like why they put it. Oh my god, I actually didn't even notice. You can literally see her bones. Actually, that's kind of cool, but also like creepy at the same time. Can you see? Okay, you cannot see like from her back, but damn, like literally you can almost see like to her soul. Like quite literally. This is character I'm gonna stay a little bit neutral. Like I don't know what to feel about this, or like how to feel. But this character on the other side looks really interesting. Like there is something unique, I would say, on this, I don't know, like black liquid or the black blood that is like, you can see like the, you know, the blood tears or the liquid tears. It's looking really nice. Also, like seeing these like flowers like around her, especially like on her shoes, kinda interesting. But like overall, what I've noticed, or like reason I wanted to have this character, she kinda reminds me the March 7. Like since very beginning, I really enjoyed that character, like that, you are annoying. To me, that character was really funny. And like seeing this, like some kind of like alter ego with like really like outshining red eyes. She looks kind of crazy, and yeah, I like that. So she going to the S tier, and we got the last one, which is basically another version of Heng. I don't know, like if people love this character so much, so he having like 3 different versions, but I would say that this guy probably looks the best out of these 3. Loki, it kind of looks like his final form. Maybe it would be even more badass if he would have a longer hair. I think that would be literally like peak. So yeah, this character definitely go to S tier. And we basically having last 2 characters, which they gotta be like in the future, but because I don't want to make another like future video, we gonna watch it right here. So I would say like he looks similar like oh, okay, this gonna be a little bit unfair because like we didn't see that like idle animation on other characters, right? But holy, he looks literally like a Boothill in a way, but not really. Oh, I feel like this is cheating. Damn, he looks great. He also got some really interesting watches. Yeah, like seeing this character more and more, I feel like I don't know how I'm gonna save the pulse. I definitely want to pull for this character, like there is not a doubt in my mind. Yeah, okay, like based on the profile picture, I thought, okay, there's gotta be like cheaper version of like Boothill, but this guy looks way different and I need to save the pulse. And the last character, this actually looks literally like a Sparkle. I don't know the lore and stuff, so maybe she's like her alter ego, I don't know. I would assume that's literally the case, but she giving me literally like same vibes. Okay, this is cute. Again, I feel like this is cheating. I shouldn't watch it, the idle animation. I should just like judge the character based on, you know, how, yeah, like this. But damn, like overall, white hair, red eyes, like in the anime, always looking like really cool. I don't know, let me actually think a little bit. Probably not gonna be same like the previous character, but she looks really interesting. You know what, I'm gonna put her literally on the same tier, literally next to Sparkle. I feel like that's pretty much fair. A little bit longer reaction, but I feel like it's kind of worth it. I wanted to do it either way. So hope you enjoyed. Let me also know what's your best pick. I'm kind of curious. I feel like you kind of know like what is my taste, right? Because like when we look at the S tier, basically like 3 more characters are males rather than the females. But overall, I would say a lot of these characters looking really well. And maybe we can do something like this in the future as well. I think this was fun. Hope you had fun as well, and maybe see you next time. Take care.